love the Ravens as much as we do, then smash that subscribe button and stay locked in with Flock News for all the drama, updates, and excitement all season long. The football world woke up today to an absolute bombshell, and the Baltimore Flock is still trying to catch its breath. Lamar Jackson, the face of the franchise, the heart of the Baltimore Ravens, has reportedly announced that he's leaving the team. Yeah, you heard that right. Lamar, the two-time MVP, the electric playmaker who turned defenses into highlight reels, has apparently told the Ravens organization that he's done. No press conference, no big emotional farewell yet. Just a quiet message that spread like wildfire across social media. It feels surreal. For years, Lamar was more than just a quarterback. He was the identity of this team, the spark that made Baltimore believe every single Sunday. Fans are still processing it, asking themselves if this is real, if maybe there's still some kind of misunderstanding behind the scenes, because the thought of seeing Lamar in another uniform just doesn't make sense. It's like imagining Ray Lewis in a Steelers jersey. It doesn't compute, but sources close to the situation say it's serious, that Lamar's decision is final, and that this time, it's not about money or contracts. It's about something deeper, something emotional, something that's been brewing quietly for a while. The story goes that tensions between Lamar and the Ravens front office didn't just appear overnight. Insiders claim the relationship has been cracking under the surface since the last contract negotiation saga, when Lamar had to practically fight to get the respect and the deal he deserved. Even after signing, there were whispers that he felt the team wasn't fully invested in building around him, the way other franchises do for their superstar quarterbacks. You look at how teams like Kansas City build an entire ecosystem around Patrick Mahomes, coaching staff, receivers, offensive line, the works, and then you look at Lamar, who's been asked to carry Baltimore on his shoulders with limited weapons. Sure, Zay Flowers came in and gave fans hope, and Mark Andrews has always been reliable, but still, the offense often looked like Lamar's one-man show. Maybe that's what finally broke him down. Maybe the constant pressure, the injuries, the critics who never gave him full credit for being a pocket passer. All of it just piled up until he decided he'd had enough. Maybe this isn't about quitting. Maybe it's about reclaiming his peace. And the reaction from the fan base, absolute chaos. Baltimore's social media is in meltdown mode, with half the fans heartbroken and the other half angry, demanding answers from the front office. Some are calling Lamar a traitor, saying he's abandoning the city that made him a legend. Others are defending him, arguing that he gave everything to the franchise and was let down by poor management decisions and a system that never truly evolved with his talent. The city feels split in two. But what's undeniable is the pain behind it all. You can feel it in the comments, in the posts, in the videos of fans tearing up wearing their purple no-hate jerseys. This isn't just about football. It's about identity. Lamar Jackson represented hope, swagger, and the underdog spirit that defines Baltimore. Losing him feels personal, and while the front office has yet to make an official statement, every minute of silence only fuels more speculation. Did they know this was coming? Did they try to stop it? Or did they underestimate just how serious Lamar was this time, behind closed doors? The vibe at the Ravens headquarters reportedly shifted overnight. One source described it as funeral energy. Coaches, staff, even players are walking around in shock, unsure of what's next. It's said that some of Lamar's closest teammates, including Mark Andrews and Marlon Humphrey, reached out to him personally, trying to convince him to reconsider, but so far, no luck. Whatever has driven this wedge seems irreversible, and what makes this all the more stunning is that the Ravens were contenders this season, sitting near the top of the AFC, playing some of their best football in years. This wasn't a struggling team on the verge of collapse. This was a team chasing a Super Bowl. That's why it hit so hard. It feels like everything was finally lining up for Lamar. The chemistry, the maturity, the chance to silence every critic once and for all. And now, just like that, it's gone. The dream might be over before it was ever fully realized. Now, the million-dollar question: where does Lamar Jackson go from here? Rumors are swirling that multiple teams are already quietly reaching out through back channels. The Atlanta Falcons, the Miami Dolphins, even the New York Jets have all been thrown into the mix by insiders who claim Lamar's next move could reshape the entire NFL landscape. Imagine Lamar in a Dolphins uniform, returning home to Florida, throwing bombs to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, or picture him in Atlanta, leading a young, Hungry offense, desperate for identity. Every scenario feels wild, but also strangely possible. One thing's for sure, wherever he lands, that team immediately becomes a contender. Lamar's talent is that transformative. Still, deep down, there's this ache in the thought of him leaving Baltimore. It's like watching the end of an era that defined a generation of Ravens football. You can't help but wonder if both sides will regret this one day. And through all the noise, Lamar himself has remained surprisingly quiet. No emotional farewell video, no cryptic tweets, just silence, and that silence speaks volumes. Maybe he's tired of having to explain himself to people who never truly understood him. Maybe he's letting his decision do the talking this time. Some believe he'll eventually release a heartfelt message to fans, thanking them for the support, the love, and the memories. Others think he'll keep it low-key, focusing on his next chapter and letting time heal the wounds. Whatever the case, the Lamar Jackson era in Baltimore appears to be over. And it's hard not to feel the weight of that sentence. The city that once rallied behind Big Trust is left with questions, disbelief, and a void that no one can immediately fill. It's the end of something special, and the start of a mystery that's only just beginning. The aftermath of Lamar Jackson's announcement has left a ripple effect across the entire league. And it's not slowing down anytime soon. Sports shows, talk radio, and podcasts are all running non-stop segments, trying to decode what really happened behind the scenes. Was it purely emotional? Was there a hidden conflict with Coach John Harbaugh? Some insiders have hinted that Lamar felt increasingly sidelined in team decisions, particularly regarding offensive schemes that never quite evolved to maximize his strengths. Even though the Ravens had revamped their system under Todd Monken, Lamar reportedly felt the offense was still too restrictive, too predictable, too unlike the explosive, creative style that once made him unstoppable. In other words, he didn't feel like himself anymore. That's a dangerous place for any superstar athlete to be when the system starts to dim the light that made them who they are. For Lamar, whose game thrives on freedom and instinct, that must have been suffocating. If this is the real reason behind his exit, then this isn't just a breakup. It's a declaration of independence. Meanwhile, NFL executives around the league are reportedly scrambling to understand the situation. The idea that a player of Lamar's caliber could actually hit the open market is unheard of. Teams are quietly reviewing salary cap situations, analyzing possible trade scenarios, and even adjusting future draft plans on the fly. Some GMs believe this could trigger one of the biggest bidding wars in modern football history. We're talking Deshaun Watson-type contracts ×2, but beyond the numbers, there's a bigger question hanging in the air. Can any team truly give Lamar what he wants? Respect, freedom, and trust, because this isn't just about building a roster around him. It's about believing in him as more than just an athlete. It's about embracing him as a leader, a brand, a phenomenon. Baltimore did that once, but somewhere along the way, that relationship lost its magic. Maybe Lamar's next chapter is about rediscovering that connection elsewhere, with a fresh start in a new city that's ready to believe again. Fans in Baltimore, though, aren't ready to move on. Across the city, murals of Lamar in his purple jersey have become almost sacred, reminders of a time when the Ravens were fearless, fast, and fun. Social media is flooded with clips of his best plays, that spin move against the Bengals, the broken tackles, the impossible touchdowns, all serving as a bittersweet goodbye reel. Some fans are already calling for a public show of appreciation, a kind of farewell celebration to thank Lamar for everything he did. Others can't bear the thought, holding on to hope that somehow, someway, he'll change his mind before anything becomes official. It's emotional, raw, and deeply personal for a city that's built its football identity around toughness and loyalty. Losing Lamar feels like losing part of that identity. The Ravens organization, for its part, is expected to release a statement soon. But unless it includes the words "he's staying," it's unlikely to calm the storm that's already raging. The locker room dynamic is another story entirely. Players who've gone to battle alongside Lamar for years are said to be devastated. Sources claim that several teammates found out about his decision through social media, not from him directly, which only added to the shock. It's not that Lamar meant to ghost anyone. It's just that he reportedly wanted to avoid the emotional goodbyes that come with such a monumental decision. Still, that doesn't make it easier for the guys who went to war with him every Sunday. For them, Lamar wasn't just a quarterback. He was the heartbeat of the team. The guy who could turn a busted play into a touchdown with sheer willpower. Now, with him gone, that energy, that belief, That spark, it's all in question. How do you replace someone like that? The answer is, you don't. You just learn to live with the void he leaves behind and hope someone steps up to carry the torch, even though everyone knows it'll never burn quite the same way again. As for the Ravens front office, they're reportedly in full damage control mode. Meetings have been running late into the night as they scramble to prepare contingency plans. Do they pursue a trade package for a veteran quarterback? Do they draft a young star to rebuild around? Or do they take a wild swing at convincing Lamar to return for one last run? The truth is, none of those options sound good right now. You can't just replace a generational player with a draft pick and expect everything to be fine. The Ravens have prided themselves on stability and culture for decades. But this situation threatens to shake that foundation to its core. For the first time in years, Baltimore feels uncertain, vulnerable even. And as much as the front office might want to project calm confidence, everyone knows the truth when a player like Lamar Jackson walks out the door. You're not just losing a quarterback, you're losing an era. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. And that's the thing about this story. It's not over, not even close. The rumor mill will keep spinning. The speculation will keep growing, and until Lamar himself breaks his silence, everything remains up in the air. Maybe he'll sit down for an exclusive interview and tell his side of the story. Maybe he'll announce his next destination with a single tweet that breaks the internet, or maybe, just maybe, he'll shock everyone again and decide to return for one last dance in Baltimore. Whatever happens, one thing's for sure, this saga has already changed the landscape of the NFL. It's a reminder that even the brightest stars can burn out when they're not given the space to shine freely. Lamar Jackson's departure from the Ravens isn't just a sports story, it's a cautionary tale about what happens when trust fades and greatness goes unappreciated. The flock may be broken right now, but history will remember this as the moment the league was reminded. Never underestimate the heart of a player who just wants to be believed in. Finally, the story surrounding Drake Jackson and the Ravens has become more than a sports narrative. It's a saga capturing imagination, sparking debate, and reshaping expectations. Fans, analysts, and rivals alike are all participants in this unfolding drama, dissecting every nuance, projecting potential outcomes, and imagining the broader implications for the franchise and the league, from cultural impact to tactical shifts, merchandise phenomena to locker room dynamics. Jackson's signing resonates on multiple levels, creating layers of discussion that go far beyond a standard transaction. The buzz is omnipresent, from social media feeds to sports talk shows, reflecting the collective fascination with what this addition could signify. Every rumor, whisper, and analysis contributes to a growing sense of anticipation, making the Ravens' upcoming season feel like a story of high stakes, bold moves, and transformative potential as the narrative develops. One thing is certain, Drake Jackson wearing purple and black is more than a headline. It's a turning point, a conversation starter, and a catalyst for speculation, leaving the entire NFL community captivated and eager to witness how this bold new chapter will unfold on the field. Finally, speculation persists about what this incident could mean for the Ravens' overall strategy moving forward, with insiders hinting that the resolution could redefine locker room hierarchies and establish a new baseline for conduct and accountability. Analysts are closely examining practice patterns, game day decisions, and any subtle shifts in player behavior to predict potential outcomes, while fan communities continue to theorize, debate, and dissect every fragment of information. Some suggest that a reconciliation could reinforce Harbaugh's authority and unify the team under a shared understanding of expectations, while others warn that a split could trigger cascading challenges affecting performance, recruitment, and long-term planning. Betting markets, digital fan spaces, and rival teams remain engaged, monitoring for any signs of resolution, escalation, or public confirmation. Meanwhile, the media frenzy ensures that every rumor, insider leak, and speculative scenario is magnified, creating a narrative that blends suspense, drama, and high-stakes sports strategy. Whether this story concludes with reconciliation, trade, or benching, it has already cemented itself as one of the most captivating and analyzed situations in recent NFL history. The rumor of Harbaugh's decisive stance against this unnamed player has transcended the usual locker room drama, becoming a saga that continues to grip fans, analysts, and the entire league. With bated breath, that's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.